So go ahead and write this matrix down in your notes. See, a lot of people see these things and they kind of get freaked out because there's nothing really all that normal about them. They look a little strange. They look a little like science-y, techie kind of stuff. But it's really not difficult. They're meant to just be a way to organize. Okay? So what this is this is called a matrix. Matrix is singular. You'll notice at the top I wrote matrices. That's plural. So a matrix is just a way to organize data. It organizes it in rows. So those are the things going across a row. So these are 2 rows. And it organizes it in columns. Those are things going up and down. I always remember that because, you know, like in a house or a big building, they have those columns going up and down. And so rows or columns go up and down in the matrix. And there's 3 of those on here. Okay, so when we talk about the size of a matrix, we talk about it in the rows by columns. So this is the size. And so the size of this one is a 2 by 3 matrix. And in a matrix, these numbers here that we have, so the 5 and the 3 and the 7, these are all called entries. Okay, so we call the numbers that we put in there entries. And it's really important when you're adding or subtracting or comparing matrices that they are the same size. So if I wanted to add this to another matrix, I would have to make sure I have a 2 by 3 matrix. If you have an equal sign between 2 matrices, so if I put, let's see here, if I put like a matrix and then another matrix, I'll make 2 by 2 matrices here. Okay, so like if I had 1/3 in the top left entry, I would have to make sure on my other one that I have the same value in the top left entry as long as I have this equal sign here. So maybe I'll put a 0.3 repeating here, and that means that I have so far an equal matrix, right? So I could put let's put a 2 here, and then on the other one I would have to have something with the value of 2 there. And maybe I have a 5 here, and so on the other one I'd have to have something with the value of 5 there. So they have to match up. And that's all you have to worry about with equal sign is that they actually match up, that the values are actually the same. Okay? And if you're adding or subtracting, yeah, I'm doing a good job with the ums, aren't I? Okay, if you're adding or subtracting, you just do that with the entries in the same area, in the same spot of the 2 matrices. Okay, so here I have 2 matrices. I'm going to add them together. If you're subtracting, it's the same idea. You just subtract the corresponding entries. And so as I do this, I'm going to go ahead and start in the top left. So I'm going to go this one plus this one, right? So 2 plus -1, that's 1. And then I'll go this one plus this one, so 7 plus 2, that's 9. And you kind of just follow the same pattern here. 6 plus 7, that's 13. 1 plus 5, that's 6. 8 plus 2, that's 10. And 2 plus 4, that's 6. And so then this is my answer right here. And if you're subtracting, same thing goes. You just have to be really, really careful that, let's just say this was a subtraction sign, and then I had to subtract a -1. I'm subtracting a -1. That ends up being adding 1. So just be really careful. I like to actually write the subtraction ones out to make sure that I got everything. And that is the basics of matrices.